The reason why I'm making this video is because I was inspired by something I saw on social media, and it reminded me that sometimes in life we look in the mirror at ourselves and we're not too happy with the reflection we see looking back at us, and we feel hopeless and we feel like change is impossible. I just want to say before I continue, sometimes the people we think in our lives that appear to be happy are not exactly happy. Less than 24 hours after I attempted to commit suicide in 2014, I went to work because I had to pay the bills. And one of my coworkers asked me how my day was, and I said it was great. So if you make it to the end of this video and you find value in it, please share, like or comment, anything that helps with the algorithm. I'd just like to say real quick, I started my YouTube channel like 5 years before my TikTok, and I have just over 1,000 subscribers, and some of my videos get about 20 views. Ever since I released a video titled "Jesus is my vaccine," I believe that I was shadow banned. So if you find value in this content, please think about supporting my YouTube channel called Saved by an Angel. I think about my healing journey. Sometimes I almost feel like I had a cheat code, because when my mom passed away in my arms, I realized like never before that we actually are gonna die someday. And this caused me to go within, and with the pain I was experiencing from the loss of my mom before my child was born, I looked within and I seen someone that was so far gone it was impossible to heal. So I pretty much gave up. And 13 months after feeling like I no longer wanted to be here, I decided to leave this place. And if it wasn't for Archangel Michael, I wouldn't be here. When I was shown that suicide was no longer an option, I felt like I had no choice but to heal. However, I didn't know how to, and for 9 months I just went on a drinking bender. And it wasn't until my marriage was on the rocks that I decided that I owed it to my son and my family to quit drinking and see if I could save my marriage. But things didn't work out. However, for 7.5 years I quit drinking, until a year into writing my book, reliving all my childhood traumas over and over again, I was like, I need a fucking drink. For the longest time I realized that I needed to quit drinking in order to heal and discover who I truly was without this crutch in my life. The first thing that I ever did in the right direction was go to a meditation. Granted, it took a pretty blonde giving me a invitation to come to a meditation. It was enough to get me there. And when I discovered group meditations, it really was the first step in the right direction, because when I started to meditate, I realized that this jet wick temper that I had my whole life was capable of being under control. Because what meditation did for me was it enabled me to go from having a jet wick temper to being able to stop those first thoughts that were coming up saying, this guy just disrespected you, let's punch him in the head 20 times, and be like, okay, that energy's passed, now what's the better step to take? And meditating really allowed me to get control of this uncontrollable temper that I used to have. Next thing that stands out is sage. I started saging. The first time I ever saged, I pretty much started hyperventilating and had to lay down on the couch. I started shaking because at that time I was very unhealed. I remember thinking, holy shit, this stuff actually works. I had experiences saging my house where I've heard demonic energies say, you think you're so wise, don't you? So in order to heal, you have to heal in a space that's of high energy. So saging will really help you. One thing I've come to learn, having visitations from angels and Jesus and out-of-body experiences and just crazy plant medicine journeys, is that this really is an energetic reality that we live in, and our eyes see less than 5% of this reality. There's a light spectrum out there that most people's eyes do not pick up. And when you realize that the majority of the reality that you can't see is energetic, you start to value the importance of saging and clearing your space. You can also, encapsulate yourself in white light. The next thing that really helped me along my journey was working with shamans and Reiki healers, which I now have a bit of a different opinion. If you're just waking up and you're unhealed, you have to be very careful what practitioners you're going to, because a lot of them are demonic and feed off the energy of broken people. And once you become more healed than them, then they start attacking you. So they're draining your energy to begin with, and then they're attacking you in the end. So you have to be really careful. I would recommend finding a healed person and asking them what shaman they use. For me, if I was to recommend someone right now, if you're looking to heal and you want guidance, I would hit up Akasha Hawaii on Instagram and ask her for an Akashic Records reading, and just ask her what your guides and angels want you to know, what needs to be healed, what's keeping you blocked, etc. Right? Next thing along my journey that really helped me was the introduction of mushrooms and other plant medicines like ayahuasca. I remember the first time I did ayahuasca, I quit smoking cigars instantly. Plant medicine has really helped me, but one thing that I've come to realize is that, some shamans out there are all about clout. They're all about, the attention that comes along with that lifestyle. So they do 100 plant medicine journeys, but yet they never really do the inner work. So you can do 1,000,000 plant medicine ceremonies, but you have to do the inner work. Otherwise, it's just going to be pointless. It becomes an addiction like many other things. The next thing that helped me, when I think about my healing journey, I've had some pretty crazy visitations from angels and Jesus, and I honestly couldn't say I would be where I was at if it wasn't for these visitations, because when the soul of Jesus comes to you, it clears all the fog and confusion around you. Right after his visitation, I stepped out of the shower and I started to see everyone in my life that had done me wrong in my eyes was actually giving me the opportunity to grow and evolve and become a bigger person. Not only that, I started having past life memories come back to me. You may call upon Jesus or Yeshua or Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael and not experience the sign. I can guarantee you, if you talk to them, they hear you. One of the things, that I can honestly say helped me throughout my journey, looking back in the last decade, is all the times that I called upon Jesus for help. In 2020, when I had a fallen angel attached to me, I started crying after 18 hours, and I said I couldn't help it anymore. And the energy of Jesus came and cleared this from me. I've had multiple encounters like that, as well as I've been in the presence of his soul a couple times. Anytime that I find myself, going through some SHIT, if I just sit there and I just close my eyes and I take in some deep breaths and I just focus on the energy of Jesus or Yeshua, I instantly start to feel better. I recommend that for anyone that finds themselves on a healing journey. Strengthen your relationship with Jesus. It'll help you a lot. Other things that helped me along my journey to heal from a suicidal depression and change my identity was just interacting with people and learning from the situation and spending a lot of time alone. I went through a period where I quit drinking. I became a vegetarian for almost 6 years. Stopped drinking caffeine, stopped junk food, stopped fast food, stopped using microwaves. I went hardcore for a long time, and I spent a lot of time by myself. And when you spend a lot of time by yourself and you just sit there and you just go within, things will come up for you that you need to heal. And learning to love myself and be on my own was one of the biggest gifts I've ever given myself. I've become my best friend and my biggest cheerleader. Learn to love yourself. Learn to become your best friend. List off some things really quickly. Get out in nature, clean up your diet, start taking in deep conscious breaths, get by the ocean, get by the lake, start getting sun on your skin, start sun gazing, stop hanging out with toxic people, evaluate your job. Is it killing your soul? Start doing all these things, you know, go for a massage, start treating yourself, you know, buy yourself a nice gift, learn to love yourself. It comes in time. It's not an easy journey, but it's possible. 2014, I looked at who I became and I decided that it was impossible to change, and so suicide was the only option. Just wanted to share this with you guys because you never know who needs to hear this message. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.